Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. I have joined.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. आप करिए ना। सर ये आपके यहाँ से
Finance of the company. And I would like to welcome you all for the 36th annual general meeting of Talbros Engineering Limited. The quorum being present, we are proceeding to the annual general meeting conducted through video conferencing or other audio-visual means as permitted by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Mr. Sarabjit Singh, Independent Director of the company, has been nominated as the chairman of the meeting. First of all, I would like to introduce our panelists for the meeting. Mr. Rajesh Talwar, President of the company, Mr. Tarun Talwar, Chief Operating Officer of the company, Mr. Sanjay Sharma, Executive Director of the company, Mr. Vijay Kumar Sharma, Executive Director and Chairman of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee, Mr. Kuldeep Singh Bhalla, Independent Director and Chairman of Audit Committee, Nomination and Remuneration Committee, and Stakeholders Relationship Committee. Mr. Sarabjit Singh, Independent Director and Chairman of the meeting, Mr. Sunil Kumar and Mrs. Shashi Khurana, Independent Directors of the company. Also, I would like to welcome Mr. Dinesh Agrawal from DSRV and Company LLP, our company's statutory auditors. Mr. Anuj Gupta, authorized representative from Anuj Gupta and Associates, our secretarial auditors and scrutinizers for e-voting. I am thankful to all of you for joining this important meeting, which is a testimony of your strong support and faith in us, and this inspires us to achieve new milestones of success. The 36th annual report, along with director's report and its annexures, have already been sent electronically to all the members of the company, and I'm sure you must have gone through the same. I would like to convey your attention towards the facility of e-voting provided to the shareholders in line with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Company Affairs. The shareholders also have the option to cast their votes electronically during the AGM who have not casted their votes through remote e-voting facility provided. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Sarabjit Singh, Chairman of the meeting, to express his views. Mr. Sarabjit Singh.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for electing me as the chairman of the meeting, and it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to the 36th annual general meeting of Talbros Engineering Limited. This year again, we are meeting through this virtual platform as a safety precaution against pandemic and in line with the guidelines issued by the government authorities. I would like to place my sincere thanks to join us today from wherever you are and for your continued faith in Talbros Engineering Limited and its management. I hope you and your family members are remaining healthy and staying safe. The recent previous years have been among the most challenging years with the global pandemic, military conflict, GDP slowdown, supply chain shortages, and more, leaving a serious impact on business and communities. On the other hand, this financial year came out as a turnaround for automobile industries, including commercial vehicles and SUVs. The Indian automobile industry have worked hard against the challenges faced by them during the past years by controlling their costs, upgrading to new technologies, enhanced in exports. The government also contributed their support by way of PLI schemes, FAME scheme extension, and in turn, automobile sector received a handsome FDI equity investment. The demand and sale of commercial vehicles and SUVs has shown improvement during financial year 2021-22 as compared to other segments of the industry. The automobile industry is dependent on various factors such as availability of skilled labor at low cost, robust R&D centers, and low-cost steel production. The industry also provides great opportunities for investments and direct and indirect employment to skilled and unskilled labor. The Indian auto industry is expected to record strong growth in financial year 2022-23. Your company has shown a tremendous growth by achieving net revenue from operations of rupees 35,114 lakhs in this financial year ended on 31st March 2022, as against 23,886 lakhs for the previous financial year. The net profit after tax for this year is 2,210 lakhs as compared to rupees 1,065 lakhs for the previous financial year, registering a growth of around 108%. Reserve and surplus of your company as on 31st March 2022 stand at rupees 8,752 lakhs as against the paid up capital of rupees 508 lakhs. The EBITDA of the company grew from 2,836 lakhs to rupees 4,621 lakhs, that is an increase of 62.94%. Earning per share for fiscal was 43.64. The board of directors have recommended a dividend of 20%, rupees 2 per equity share of the financial year on 31st March 2022. During the year ended on 31st March 2022, besides performing well, your company has also contributed towards society by allocating majority amount of tentative CSR expenditure towards the measures to be taken to overcome COVID situations across the country. The company has a world-class manufacturing facilities located at Faridabad and Hathin in Haryana and is equipped with latest technology, including robotics, and highly qualified team at each level. The company has also acquired new land for setting up a new plant in Faridabad, on which construction has also been initiated. The company's goal is to be a leader in supply of automotive rear axle shafts in the Indian and overseas market to benefit from the growth and to profit from the opportunities that exist in this sector. The company has a major focus on exports. As a result, your company has registered an export sale of rupees 8,813 lakhs in this financial year as against rupees 5,870 lakhs during the preceding financial year. That is growth of 50.14%. Once again, I wish to place on record my sincere thanks to all employees, board members, promoters, my colleagues who ensured their continuous counsel and support. I wish you all and your family members all the best. Thank you.
There being no qualifications, observations, comments, or adverse remarks in the auditor's report and secretarial auditor's report, I am reading herewith independent auditor's report and statutory auditor's report for the year ended 31st March 2022. Report on the audit of the Ind AS financial statements. Opinion by the auditors. We have audited the accompanying Ind AS financial statements of Talbros Engineering Limited, the company, which comprises the balance sheet as at 31st March 22, the statement of profit and loss, the statement of changes in equity and statement of cash flows for the year ended on that date, and a summary of significant accounting policy and other explanatory information. In our opinion, and to the best of our information, and according to the explanations given to us, the aforesaid Ind AS financial statements give the information required by the Companies Act 2013, the Act, in the manner so required, and give a true and fair view in conformity with the accounting standards prescribed under Section 133 of the Act, read with the Companies Accounting Standards Rule 2015 as amended, and other accounting principles generally accepted in India, of the state of affairs of the company as of 31st March 2022. The profit, changes in equity, and cash flows for the year ended as on that date. The basis of opinion: we have conducted our audit of the Ind AS financial statements in accordance with the standards of auditing specified under Section 1.310 of the Act. Our responsibilities under these state standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the company in accordance with the Code of Ethics issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, together with the ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the industrial financial statements under the provisions of the Act and rules made thereunder. And we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with these requirements and the ICAI's Code of Ethics. We believe that the audit evidence obtained by us is sufficient and appropriate to provide the basis for our audit opinion on the Ind AS financial statements. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters in our professional judgment which were of most significant in our audit and the Ind AS financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in context of our audit of the financial statements as a whole and informing our opinion thereon. and we are not providing a separate opinion on these matters. In the audit of current period, we do not have any observation of any key audit matters which requires a specific mention in the report. Item number 1, resolved that the audited balance sheet of the company as on 31st March 2022 and the statement of profit and loss for the year ended as on that date, with the reports of the directors and auditors thereon, which have been already circulated to the shareholders and produced at the meeting, be and are hereby approved and adopted. Item number 2, resolved that the company hereby declares final dividend for the financial year 21-22 at the rate of 20%, that is, rupees 2 per share on 50,76,504 fully paid up equity shares of rupees 10. Item number 3, resolved that Mr. Sanjay Sharma, who retires by rotation at this annual general meeting and being eligible for reappointment, be and is hereby reappointed as the director of the company. Item number 4, resolved that pursuant to the provisions of section 139, 142, and other applicable provisions, if any, of the Companies Act 2013 and the Companies Audit and Auditors Rules 2014, including any statutory modification or reenactments thereof for the time being in force, Messrs. Rakesh Raj and Associates Chartered Accountants, having FRN 005145N, who have offered themselves for appointment and have confirmed their eligibility to be appointed as auditors in terms of section 141 of the Companies Act 2013 and applicable rules, be and are hereby authorized, appointed as the statutory auditors of the company in place of Messrs. DSRB and Company LLP Chartered Accountants, the retiring auditors of the company, for a term of 5 years, commencing from the conclusion of this meeting until the conclusion of 41st Annual General Meeting to be held in the year 2027 on such remuneration as may be agreed by the Audit Committee and the Board of Directors in consultation with the auditors. Item number 5, resolved that pursuant to the provisions of section 181C of the Companies Act 2013 and in supersession of all other resolutions passed in this regard under the Companies Act, the consent of the company be and is hereby accorded to the Board of Directors of the company thereof to borrow at its discretion either from the company's bank or from any other Indian or foreign bank, financial institution, or any other lending institution or persons from time to time such sum of money and the sums to be borrowed, together with the money already borrowed by the company, apart from temporary loans obtained from the company's bankers or financial institutions in the ordinary course of business, with or without security on such terms and conditions as may think fit, shall exceed the aggregate of the paid-up share capital and reserves of the company, that is to say, reserves not set apart for any specific purpose, provided that the total amount, together with the money already borrowed by the Board of Directors, shall not exceed the sum of rupees 100 crores at any point of time. Item number 6, resolved that in supersession of the earlier resolutions passed under section 181A of the Companies Act 2013 and other applicable provisions, if any, of the Companies Act 2013, read with the rules framed thereunder, as may be amended from time to time, consent of the company be and is hereby accorded to the Board of Directors or committee thereof to pledge, mortgage, hypothecate, or to create charge, in addition to such mortgages or charges already created, in such form and manner on such terms and conditions as the board or committee may determine on all or any part of the movable or immovable property, current or fixed assets, whatsoever situated, both present and future of the company, in favor of the lender or securing the borrowings availed or to be availed by the company by way of loans, debentures, deposits for the due payment of principal amount thereof with the interest payable thereon from time to time within the overall borrowing of rupees 100 crores. Item number 7, resolved that in supersession of the earlier resolutions passed under section 181A of the Companies Act 13 and all other applicable provisions of the Companies Act 13 read with the rules framed thereon, as may be amended from time to time, consent of the company be and is hereby accorded by the Board of Directors or a committee thereof to pledge, mortgage, hypothecate, or to create charge, addition to the mortgages charges already created in such form and such manner and on such terms and conditions as the Board or committee may determine on all or any part of the movable or immovable assets of the company. For securing the borrowing availed or to be availed by the company by way of loan, deposit, or issue of debentures, or due payment of principal amount together with interest payable from time to time within the overall borrowing limits of rupees 100 crores. The company has provided e-voting facilities for the resolutions mentioned in the notice of AGM for approval of shareholders. The remote e-voting was open from 19th August 2022 to 21st August 2022. The e-voting has been done by shareholders. Those who have not casted their votes electronically may cast their votes electronically in the meeting. Now, I would like to ask members of the company who have registered themselves as speakers for the annual general meeting, and in case of any queries and questions, please feel free to ask.
Madam, first speaker shareholder, Mr. Praveen Kumar.
Mr. Praveen Kumar.
Hello, I am audible, sir.
Yes, sir. बोलिए.
A very, very good morning to my respected chairman, sir, esteemed board of director, and my co-fellow shareholder who joined this meeting online. Myself, Praveen Kumar, joining this meeting from New Delhi. Sir, I have few observations which I love to express to the house, sir. Sir, first of all, I love to thank our nominated chairperson for your detailed and in-depth speech. I think, sir, you cover almost everything. Sir, myself, Praveen Kumar, I am with the company for more than a decade, and when we used to have physical meeting, I got the opportunity to attend the meeting also. Sir, what I observe over the management respected Talbros and family, they are so focused and so innovative in their approach to make sure that they will create the wealth on a sustainable basis for a minority shareholder like me. So, sir, I am very, very satisfied as an investor. My hard-earned money is in safe hand. I am very, very privileged to be part of such a legacy, sir. I quoted all the regulations which our respected chairman set out for the notice today, sir. And, sir, one more thing which is very, very important, sir. I love to uh, 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 thank the management. The testimony of a company which is listed entirety is also decided by the communication for the minority shareholder. In this regard, I love to thank our company secretary, Ankush Jindal and his entire team for doing fantabulous job, sir. Even during the COVID time also, sir, if you have any queries, we will just email them with our credential and it will be promptly replied. That really shows the management is putting higher priority for the minority shareholder and the growth, which is regular dividend payout. It really shows that the approach of the management for the retail investor is very, very investor friendly, sir. And sir, I wish all the very, very best for the coming year. May God bless you so that you will take our company to the near height in the future, sir. And thank you very much for giving me this platform so that I share my views, my observation about a decade, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Next speaker shareholder, Mr. Sagar Saxena.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir. बोलिए.
Sir, congrats on a strong financial year. I had sent my questions earlier, so if you could answer each one of them, that would be very nice. And I wanted to know how much capacity we are adding at our new plant, the unit, the land we have bought recently, and how soon will it get operationalized. And I had a small request that if you could increase your communication frequency through the year, because we have only one opportunity at the AGM to ask or know about what is going on in the company. So if you could start an investor conference call or come out with an investor presentation or just a 2-3 line small summary about the ongoing quarter and the coming few quarters about the outlook, whatever you foresee. So that would be very good and please consider it seriously. So that's all and all the best for FY23.
Yeah, hello, good morning, Mr. Saxena. Yes, we did receive your questions, so I'll try and address some of them and answer them to give you some information and feedback as you had requested. Your first question was on the company's EBITDA margins. You have correctly noticed that we've moved from high single-digit margins to double-digit margins, and I believe you were asking if this is sustainable. So I think yes, from our side as the management, we certainly would like to think it is sustainable. We work every day very hard to make sure that we have achieved these numbers, and we certainly hope to sustain and do better, to be quite honest. You asked if this was what was the cause of the increase in the margin and whether it was probably operating leverage mostly. I think yes, to a large extent, we did benefit from economies of scale over here. However, there are other small efforts that also translate into small percentage movements in margins. So it is a combination of both. You asked about the capacity of the company, and you correctly pointed out that while volume growth was around 25%, the top line growth was close to 50%. And yes, inflation in raw material prices certainly had a lot to do with it. And yes, half of the top line growth is due to inflation, but the other half is certainly due to genuine business growth. You wanted to know what would the impact on top line be if the RM cycle, RM costs would cool down and the cycle would reverse.
Because this is AGM.
It's hard to comment beyond the near future. But what we can tell you is that whatever is cooling down is probably only the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war, which happened only in March and is not even reflected in FY22. So whatever inflation did happen on account of the war is reversing now to a certain extent, but that should offset each other in FY23. I mean, we continue to believe that we will still strive and demonstrate double-digit growth in all aspects, top line and bottom line. You asked about capex plans, and yes, I think you already know that we have a new factory coming up in IMD Faridabad, so that should be operational within the next 18 to 24 months, and that will take us up to a capacity of 3 million axle shafts per year. I believe your last question was, you mentioned that the last 3 years have been bad for the automotive industry, but our company has done fairly well. So I think the automotive industry is a very large ocean, and you've got to break it down into smaller segments. The segments that didn't perform well, such as the two-wheeler segment and maybe some of the light passenger, the low-cost passenger vehicles to a certain extent. These are not segments in which we operate in. We only operate in pickup trucks, in SUVs, in 4x4s, and the commercial vehicles. And all these segments of the market are doing very well and continue to do very well. So that is why our particular business trajectory is not in line with the wider industry, as you call it. Your last comment was about improving media, focus and attention and communication, and we'll certainly think about it and give it a good thought and see what best we can do going forward. Thank you. I think I've answered all your questions. If there's anything else, you can let me know.
Sir, next speaker shareholder, Mr. Rajat Tetia.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. First of all, congratulations for an amazing financial year and first quarter of the current year. Sir, most of my questions have been answered. Just want to add some 1-2 questions onto it. So my first question is regarding, I read your credit rating report and they saw the significant improvement in volumes as well as per unit realizations. So what is backing this realization increase? The RM price or some product mix improvement? If you can give some percentage contribution, Also, I would like to know that among your products, which are the high margin products? Also, what is the peak revenue we can do at our full capacity utilization? Uh, yes, sir. And regarding the new capex that we are doing, how much would be funded through debt? And what time it will take to ramp up the production to the optimum utilization rate? And what revenues can we make from this increased capacity? Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Okay, well, that was a lot of questions, but let me try to see if I can recall each one of them. Firstly, yes, the new expansion is funded primarily through debt. That has been the fastest way for the company to continue growing organically in increments. And in terms of capacity, the land and the plant to fill up, it'll keep, it might take us 3 to 5 years. We don't have that long-term a vision. Right now, we are looking at the next 24 months, and we are looking to have installed capacity up to 3 million axle shafts per year. So, I mean, we're looking at least a 30% growth in the next 3 years. That is what we can target currently.
Next speaker shareholder, Mr. Arun Kumar Selvaraj, but he is not present. And another speaker shareholder, Mr. Ankur Chanda, but he is not also present here. Next speaker shareholder, Mr. Chetan Chadda, he is not also present here. And no more other speaker shareholders.
Okay, so with this, I think we should conclude our question and answer session and proceed further in the series of our meeting. We regret to inform that we have mistakenly missed item number 7 of agenda of the meeting, and I would like to speak that out. Item number 7 was resolution resolved that pursuant to the recommendations of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, provisions of section 149, 150, 152 read with schedule 4, and all other application provisions of the Companies Act 2013, including any statutory modification or reenactment thereof for the time being in force, and Regulation 16, 17, and 25 of the Civil Listing and Disclosure Obligations, Regulations 2015, Mrs. Shashi Khurana, who was appointed as an additional director pursuant to the provisions of section 161(1) of the Companies Act 13 and who holds office up to the date of this AGM, and in respect of whom the company has received a notice in writing under section 160 of the Companies Act 2013 from a member proposing his candidature for the office of director, be and is hereby appointed as an independent woman director of the company to hold office up to 5 consecutive years for the term up to May 2020, May 22, 2027. Further, I would like to inform that the company has appointed Mrs. Anuj Gupta and Associates, practicing company secretaries, as scrutinizers to scrutinize the remote e-voting and e-voting at AGM. The results of vote casted through remote e-voting and e-voting at AGM shall be declared and placed on the website of the company and the website of CDSL/RTA. The e-voting results shall also be communicated to the stock exchange where the shares of the company are listed latest by 24th of August 2022. I once again thank you all for being part of this meeting. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.